Good morning, everyone, and welcome to AMHQ Early. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno. Yes, another week, another nor'easter to prepare you for in the Northeast. Guys, it's getting its act together today. So let's get to it. Winter Storm Skylar. We got it all covered for you right here. This is where we've got all of the National Go Area winter weather advisory. All right, winter weather advisory there. Lexington, winter storm warning. We go into the mountains, the Appalachians of North Carolina, some winter storm warnings as well. And winter weather advisories from Central Virginia into North Carolina. That's another spot that we got to talk about here, because you may not be ready for this, but you need to be later today. So here we go, Nashville, an inch or two of snow. It is 33 degrees and snowing right now in Nashville. Taking a closer look at what's happening, where you see some of these darker colors, you get a better chance of accumulating on the grass. We'll see how much we get in the roads. I mean, it's overnight, and that's going to help the situation actually to get snow on the roads. But it's moving through this morning, so tough timing for the morning commute, the morning drive, the kids going to school this morning there. We go to Charleston, West Virginia, snow there. Kentucky, Lexington, let me move out of the way. South of town, about 5 miles south of town, we had 8 inches of snow, and it's still snowing. So that's adding up there. Significant snow for you. Roanoke, you are snowing as well with a temperature of 33 degrees. And so that's happening now. And then the attention later today will shift off the coast as all the energy and the low pressure moves off the coast. The warmer air over the Gulf Stream waters, and the Gulf Stream waters will help intensify this low pressure. So we're going to see, this is a classic situation. The low will really strengthen throughout the day. The pressure dropping, that's what it means when it to strengthen, and we're going to see it bomb out, as we say, losing 24 millibars in 24 hours. So watch what happens as we see the transition. The snow sweeps through the central Appalachians, moving through portions of Virginia, even North Carolina, Raleigh, finishing your afternoon with sleet and snow. That's a commute home. So get ready for that. Be ready for changing conditions on the roadways. And then we take you out to the, how much. It's not going to be a lot in North Carolina. Maybe 1 to 3 across parts of the Greensboro area. Roanoke, we're in the same boat, maybe a little bit more as you go up into the mountains there. And finishing it up for you in Roanoke here, it's mainly a first part of the day thing. By the way home, we're warming up to 40 and we're drying out. So at that point, the road should just be wet. So let me show you what's happening. Boston, Providence, we now have winter storm warnings. This is new this morning, all updated. Portland in Maine, winter storm warning. Eastern end of Long Island, winter storm warning. New York City, winter weather advisory. Not expecting as much accumulation there, but still could be some impacts, and especially for Long Island commuters, you guys are going to be dealing with the worst part of this storm. So it goes and tracks out to sea, and we've been tracking the system and how close to the benchmark does it go. The thing about this one, about Skylar, is it's going to be a very deep, a very strong low pressure, and we're going to see it have a very strong and large wind field, not to mention a large precip shield. So even though it's fairly far off the coast, we're going to be getting that heavy snow as well, especially in southeastern New England, eastern Long Island, up into to Maine as well. Starts overnight tonight. Tomorrow morning is the time where that snow is just starting to fall very heavily. The winds are picking up. Blizzard conditions are possible on the eastern shores of New England, and we'll watch for that to continue through the day Tuesday into overnight Wednesday, and then by Wednesday midday, things are diminishing, but still snow showers hanging around. Like we saw with Quinn, we'll be in the snow squally weather here for about 24 hours after the storm starts to move away. So here we go with a look at the forecast for how much. A widespread area of 5 to 8, that's the light purple. The darker purple right here is an 8 to 12, and 12 to 18 is the darkest purple that we see. So Boston, you're in the 8 to 12 range when it comes to snowfall. A foot of snow is possible in Boston. Portland, same thing. In fact, you could get more as well. And the wind blowing around the snow, the fact that it will likely be a heavy, wet snow again, power outages are going to be a possibility. All right, New York City, we look at your forecast. Your temperatures are all above freezing, but we know from experience that it can snow when it's above freezing. We're going to see that snow chances, but much less accumulation here as we get you into tomorrow midday hours. All right, let's go coast to coast right now and check out our Monday morning weather headlines. Powerful thunderstorms, time change, and so yes, we've got a dark, rainy commute for you in store. Showers out there right now, scooting through North Georgia. We still have showers in Florida as well. Here's a look at the Miami area. A lot of the activity offshore, down towards the Keys. You guys are getting a few showers as well. Over towards Greenville and Spartanburg, we're getting some steady and heavy rain coming in. If you're about to leave the house right now, you might need to hurry up and get out there, because you're going to need some extra time. You'll have to slow down in this rain. We've got rain falling in Raleigh and rain out towards the Cape as well. The snow that you see in Nashville, Tennessee, are you wondering how long that's going to stick around? Just the morning. That's it. Then it's out of here. But then that moves into the Appalachians. Boone will get some new snow. Sugar Mountain, if you're still trying to get in some skiing, you can. We've got more snow coming your way today, the fresh snow, not the man-made kind. And of course, talked about Raleigh, concerned about your commute home with that snow falling and at the very least being a distraction. Now, some people in the Northeast are beginning a 10th day without electricity. And now here comes nor'easter number 3. Look, today's forecast, tomorrow's forecast is so busy. So that's going to take a lot of attention. We've got that snow falling right through the mid-Atlantic today. We're going to be watching tonight the snow pick up into the north and east. The wind, another big factor as well, especially in southern New England, expecting the visibility to be reduced because of that, power outages as well, from say Boston and surrounding suburbs and all the way up to Portland and up into northern Maine too. All right, so then we get into Wednesday, and just like the last two, this one is kind of going to curl back a little bit, and so we'll get some scattered snow showers continuing into portions of the Northeast, especially up into northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. That's your Wednesday and your Thursday forecast too. That's not changing. Then we get a bit of a break, but then we look at the West because the West gets very active this week, and we're going to start to see some bigger rain amounts come into central and southern California by the time we get to the weekend. Saturday in the middle of the country, we do have showers coming back in. Next system comes in as rain. It's much more mild as the pattern changes a bit. Getting into next week, we'll finally get temperatures back to average. And back-to-back nor'east. AMHQ is your travel headquarters at 20 and 40 past the hour. Winter storm Skylar could cause some trouble at the airports today and tomorrow. So let's bring out the plane. We'll take a look at the delay board. Right now, there's no issues. I did check cancellations for you. There are 13. That's it across the country today. That's nothing, right? That's a normal day. So not worried about that. Tomorrow, so far, there's one, but we will see. I think tomorrow could be a much bigger impact day. And you can see we do have some potential delays at Nashville and Raleigh. Kentucky, Byrdstown, Kentucky. The numbers are coming in for some of the snow totals in Kentucky, and I'm seeing 8 inches. I'm seeing 5 inches. We got a lot of snow, actually, especially just south of Lexington, where we do have the winter storm warning. Winter weather advisory for Nashville, Tennessee. Winter storm warning for Asheville and Roanoke. And there is a winter weather advisory for Raleigh, North Carolina. So get ready for that this afternoon for the changing weather. Right now, we've got snow that's still coming down across eastern Kentucky, stretching down into northern Tennessee, maybe even northern Alabama. Huntsville, don't be surprised if you see a snowflake or two. Not much accumulation there, but Nashville, I wouldn't be surprised if on the grass this morning you go out and your kids are trying to get to the bus stop and they're making snowballs. Why not, right? It's March, and if you have snow, you might as well have some fun with it. Now, not so fun for drivers. We are getting accumulating snow on the roadways. Checking conditions for you. I-64. If you're traveling I-65, there are some slowdowns. You're going about half of normal highway speed because of the snow on the highways. It is snowing in Charleston, half-mile visibility, and your temperature's at 32 degrees. So that's going to be an impact snow as well. And then later today, our low moves off the coast, and this is a classic situation where the low pressure develops off the eastern seaboard. It strengthens rapidly, and it's going to mean big impacts into the Northeast tomorrow. Today, it's all about the mid-Atlantic, and we've got snow for you in Roanoke. We'll have some snow in Richmond, though probably won't snow long enough to have any flakes. D.C., this is still not your storm. So I don't know, we have a bubble over the city or something. You are not getting any accumulating snow in Washington, D.C. Biggest snows in the mountains, as you would expect here. That's where the 5 to 8 will fall. Another 1 to 3 inches in places like Roanoke and Greensboro. We could get maybe about 3 inches plus of snowfall as well into North Carolina. So here we go in Raleigh. Your day is rainy to start and then for the ride home. And, even if it doesn't stick, it's going to be distracting. So be ready for some snow here for the commute out of Raleigh tonight. Breaking down what you can expect. This one is going to bring a significant snow to New England. That's where the big totals will be. That's where the big wind will be. That's where the big impacts will be, meaning power outages and likely travel disruptions as well. So we pick it up where we left off in the mid-Atlantic. There's our low pressure off the coast. It's moving off the eastern seaboard and is getting into a position where, because it's so strong, we're going to have a big precip shield with it. We're going to have a lot of wind. The storm is going to bomb out, as we call it, meaning it's going to lose 24 millibars in 24 hours, plus a very strong, very low pressure system means a lot of wind. So here we go with the forecast. We start tonight. This is 11 o'clock. New York City, you'll probably start as rain. You'll mix in with some snowflakes. Not expecting a lot of accumulation there. More on the eastern end of Long Island, in Connecticut, in Rhode Island, in Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. This is a big storm for Maine. We're going to get more than a foot of snow, especially in eastern Maine, down East Maine especially. And then once the low sort of exits out, it sort of spins back. A piece of it does anyway, just like we saw with Quinn. And so we keep it snowy up into northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine for the next 2 days after that. So in terms of snowfall forecast, the Greens, the Whites, the Northern Adirondacks, the Allagash of Maine. You guys are all going to get 2 feet of snow out of this up at elevation. But when it comes to Boston and Portland, we're talking a widespread area of 8 to 12 inches, a foot plus possible in that darker purple area, which does include Portland, Maine. And then we're looking at maybe 5 to 8 inches of snow places like Worcester and down through eastern Connecticut and the eastern end of Long Island. So here's the New York City forecast. Again, we're going to have our temperatures above freezing when it's snowing, so that'll cut down on any accumulation. But we are going to see some snowfall for you, maybe about 1 to 3 slushy inches throughout the day on your Tuesday. And Portland, Maine, it's about Tuesday night, and still snowing on Wednesday here. All right, let's go coast to coast right now and check out your Monday morning weather headlines. Part of our forecast, so let's get to that. We've got snow 8 inches now is one of the big totals I saw coming out of Kentucky, just south of Lexington. Winter storm warning for you there. Winter weather advisory in Nashville. Winter storm warning in Asheville, North Carolina, and Boone. And winter weather advisories over towards the Roanoke area and Raleigh, North Carolina this afternoon. Get ready. You will see some flakes mixing in. Right now, the snow continues in parts of Kentucky. Some of this has been heavy at times, and this reminds me of what we saw in Missouri yesterday. It's just coming down so quickly that even though temperatures are above freezing, it's sticking on the roadways and making it very tough for morning travel. Around the Nashville area, we've also got some of that snow that's coming down steady and heavy, and most roads are just wet, but I wouldn't be surprised if you got some slush on the roadways here, even though your temperature is right at about 32 or 33 degrees. There's some heavier amounts coming down, so watching for that in Nashville for the commute this morning. Charleston, West Virginia, we've had a steady snow over the last couple of hours, a half-mile visibility there. That's accumulating. Roanoke, we're going to get a look at what's happening out there in just a few moments with Paul Goodlow coming on up. So here is what's going to happen today. This low pressure coming out of the south, the Midwestern system combining everything off the coast, pushing all the energy there, and we get our coastal low to develop. Until we get there, it's about the mid-Atlantic. So for the rest of the morning, we've got that snow moving through Western Virginia into North Carolina, and then as we get you into the afternoon and evening, we watch that low off the coast form, and then we get into the Northeast. So people there, like in Boston, are getting ready for their third nor'easter in just 2 weeks, and Winter Storm Skylar will bring more snow, and then looks like your storm. We're going to get a foot plus of snow into New England. The winds are going to be gusty. Blizzard conditions are possible out in the Cape, and winter storm warnings are up. Start tonight in places like Boston and Providence. So we'll time it out for you. This afternoon, you'll start to see those clouds thicken up. By this evening, some snow showers moving in. New York City, for you, it might start as some rain, but then changing back over to snow. Snow for Long Island, snow into Philly, but not a lot of accumulation, but picking up in Hartford, in Providence, in Boston. Worcester, you'll get snow, but bigger amounts actually closer to the coast. And it's all because our low actually is pretty far off. It's a very strong low, and I know it's not shown on here, but it's far enough off the coast that it's going to drag that rain-snow line all the way off the coastline. So you're not going to be worried in Boston this time about how much time you'll spend in rain versus snow. It's all snow, and when you spend, a day in snowfall, it adds up. We've got 8 to 12 inches of snow in the forecast here across much of southern New England up to northern New England. It's a foot plus 12 to 18 inches of snow possible for you in Portland. And this would be one of our top 10 biggest March snowstorms for you in Portland. And interestingly, in Portland, 4 of your top 10 have happened on March 13th and 14th. Isn't that an uncanny coincidence? Tomorrow the 13th. So yeah, here we go. Boston, we've got snow for you continuing, starting overnight, continuing through the day. Tomorrow, it's all day. It's very windy. Winds are going to gust 50 to 60 miles per hour. There will be coastal issues with flooding. There will be power outages because of the winds and the heavy snowfall and the weight of that snow. Here's the widespread forecast. It's 9 to 10 or even 11 inches of snow pretty much across the entire metro area. You get back towards Worcester, it's about 7 or 8 inches. And I want to show you where the gradient is this time. It's that western edge where you're just too far away from the shield of precip. You're not going to get that much into extreme western Massachusetts or in New York State in the upstate. Okay, Boston, this will be a big one for us here. This will fall into one of our top one-day snowfall totals for March. You just have to get about a foot to make it to the top 3. All right, one of the cities bracing for a foot of snow is Boston, and that's where we find you.